backwoods 808, got the whole woods glitched out. Pre-dawn fall, boots crunch frost on the trail. Thermos full, black cold breath in the gale. Out, echo shock, gobble crack the sky. Roosted up high, yeah, mark where he live. As full cause diaphragm tucked in tight.
Welcome in, beautiful people. We have a very special episode this week. We have the newest member of DCT Power Sports with us, Logan Vessels. I can't wait to see how this night goes. How's everybody doing?
We're on screen, bud. There you go.
Doing phenomenal.
Good,
Thank you,
man.
Logan, how are you today, bud? How you feeling?
I'm good, buddy. Happy to be here, man.
That's good. We're happy you could make it.
Beautiful yawn. Beautiful yawn.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here, man. We can't wait to ask you the many questions we probably have. But let's start off with, how'd you get into this team?
So DCT Power Sports is my third stop in my monster truck career, shaping up to be my last. I'm super happy here. I started with Feld Entertainment in Monster Jam as a company crew guy right in 2022. Did 3 years with Monster Jam, crewed for a lot of amazing people, went to a lot of amazing places. Really had my heart set on getting in a truck, getting behind the wheel, getting to go drive a truck. Had a really good friend in the sport. Some people might know him, Zach Gardner. Me and him were talking at a show, and I was kind of just telling him, what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. And he was like, you should call my dad. So that's what I did. And a couple months later, I made the jump over to Overboard Motorsports. Did Zach's debut year in stadiums with him as his crew guy. Went to World Finals, killed it there, learned a ton from everybody, Jamie, Cole, Zach, John. Did right at a year and a half with Team Overboard, and then recently got the call to go to DCT Power Sports. Made the jump about 6-7 weeks ago now. And been super excited ever since. Been getting a lot of seat time, learning a lot, working with some really talented dudes in the sport, and enjoying every moment of it.
Heck yeah.
Fantastic. So what originally made you want to be involved in monster trucks? What was it, a show you went to? Was it just watching on TV or?
So I was 4 or 5 years old, and my cousin called my dad and said, hey, there's this car dealership down the road that's doing this thing called a monster truck car crush. You should bring Logan up, let him check it out. And it was Raminator and Rammunition at a Dodge dealership doing a car crush in a parking lot. So my dad was like, yeah, we'll go. We checked. It was raining the whole day. Like, my dad had no idea what we were walking into. And I walked up to the original, like, OG Raminator, the all red Raminator, the all black Rammunition. And I walked up, and my dad said I was just captivated. Like, I just stood there and stared at it. And then we walked around him for a little bit. My dad was like, okay, so what do they do? And he was like, oh, you see those cars over there? They're going to run over them. And, my dad thought they were just going to drive over them. And then he said they fired these trucks up and they took off, and I was blown away. And I was locked in ever since. So every year after that, we went to Monster Jam in Freedom Hall in my hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. It was just something me and my dad would do every year. And if anybody's ever seen a show in Freedom Hall, it's had some really wild moments over the years. So everything from Thunder Nationals, 6 cars in a van, all the way up to, more Monster Jam, speedsters, ATVs. And then I think the last year we went was one of the first years the 8-pack was invented. So almost watched the progression of the sport for like 12 years, just sitting in the stands with my dad. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but that's what I want to do. And so when I started high school, I started down like an automotive technology pathway, trying to figure out, how stuff works. Why is a monster truck loud? Okay, well, it's got a big engine in it. Okay, well, what's an engine do? From, 5-6 years old, I'm asking myself these questions, trying to figure it out, and just grew up to get lucky enough to finally get a shot and just chased it ever since.
I mean, you're doing great for yourself right now. You're with a great team, the DCT Power Sports. They're one of the bigger independent teams out there, and
Sure.
I mean, I was there when you debuted for them, so it was sick watching you run, man.
Well, thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've been really fortunate to work for great people my entire career. There's never been a bad team. There's never been a bad driver. I've always been around top of the line trucks with top of the line drivers, and it makes you better for sure when you know that like Tyler Miniga, Zach Gardner, Cynthia Gautier, Too Tall, when those are the guys that are going to go test your truck, you get really good really fast. And it's been awesome my entire career to be trusted with good equipment and to watch people that I consider some of my best friends go out and drive it as hard as they could drive it.
Yeah, I mean, you get real good with tools real fast when you work with Zach. So,
Yeah.
what year did you debut with Monster Jam?
My first year was 2022. I came in, I didn't even know how to put a tire on a monster truck, dude. I was lucky enough that I graduated high school in 2020, which was COVID, so world shut down. And my high school was sending 4 or 5 kids from the entire school to go do co-op work programs where instead of going to school, you went to work. So out of the automotive pathway, I was the one that was chosen. So I started working at a Chevrolet dealership, which was the hands-on kind of common knowledge that you needed. And that was what I was just going to do. That was my full-time job, 40 hours a week, making really good money for a 17-year-old kid. And I was just going to pursue that and hope it led to motorsports somewhere, and then take that motorsport and try to get to monster trucks and cycle through. And fortunately, I was able to skip that process and go straight to monster trucks. But when the world opened back up, Monster Jam, believe it or not, put online applications out. They were like, hey, we're hiring people to fix monster trucks. And I threw an application in, never expected to get a phone call, never expected it to go anywhere. And they called me 45 minutes later and they were like, hey, when can you be in Florida? So I drove down, did an interview, and they were like, you can start whenever. Went home, worked 2 more weeks at a dealership, packed my life up at 18, moved to Florida, and was like, here we go. And just ran with it ever since.
That's insane, dude. Really is.
You should have been there. It's pretty wild.
I think I made it in at a good point.
Sure, boss.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
from the first of the month to the third Monday of the month, I was working at a Chevy dealership to on a plane to Houston, Texas, to go work on Mostrima Dalmatian. And that the whole 3 weeks, I couldn't tell you if I ate, if I slept, anything. It was just my entire life just went and flipped. But it was the best decision I ever made.
There you go.
So was that the first truck you worked on? Was Dalmatian?
So we went and we were doing the fall stadium tour, I think. And Lindsey Reed, the Porsche commercial that Lindsey Reed filmed with the stunt body, was actually the first time I had ever that's a monster truck. Good luck. And I was super fortunate that Kevin Joseph, Blinky, Jeff Sin, Gio Andino, a bunch of guys that had been in the sport for a long time, kind of took me under their wing, and they were like, hey, since you have no idea what's going on right now, we're going to walk you through this. And I did those 3 shows with Lindsey Reed. I did Houston, Arlington, and I think either Glendale or New Orleans. I don't remember. And we did those 3 shows. I went back to the shop and I was like, this is 100%. This is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And it just snowballed from there.
So you want me to ask a question, Cam?
Yeah, you can.
Hey, TJ.
You're doing
I
good.
thought Oliver was gonna ask something, but
You were doing good, boss. It was awesome. It was good. Okay. My question. So how many shows for your first year did you do for Monster Jam compared to your last year?
So I never really said no to shows. So I couldn't tell you the exact amount of shows that I did,
A lot.
but we would do, we would start first quarter, first week of January, and you're gone until at least the end of May, if not the beginning of June. So you're gone 4, 5, 6 months already. And then you would go back to the shop or you would go to Paxton, depending on what tour you were on, prep for World Finals for like a week or 2, and then go to World Finals. And after that, you either went overseas and started doing shows over there, which I did 1 year, or you went on a summer tour. So I always tried to do something. Florida was never home for me. Way too hot. Not my place. So I was like, the more shows I can do, the more time I'm actually learning on a truck, the more people I get to meet, but also the more experience I'm gaining. So I I would say well over 100 shows every year when you add in all the arena shows and everything else we were doing.
Oof. Yeah, those arenas, you get 4 to 5 shows that weekend.
I mean,
But
sometimes
arenas
Yeah.
arenas are cool, man. That's where trucks get wore out. That's what a lot of people don't realize is like, yeah, in a stadium you break a lot, but it's over. That's it. You know,
Right.
they tow your truck out and they drag all the pieces and you kind of stare at it and you're like, well, how did that get there? And then you put it all back together. In an arena, your truck might not break, but there's parts that most guys don't touch on their truck other than once or twice a year that you just have wear out because you're doing 4 or 5 shows a week. So you gain a lot of experience in both aspects. And now that they're backflipping in arenas, there's no, you can tear the same amount of stuff up at a hockey arena. You can tear up in a football stadium for sure.
So
Well
leading
said.
off of that, could you explain to us the difference with Monster Jam's hardware to, say, Independence? Like, just give us a breakdown on your day at work.
So with Monster Jam, you're flown in and out of each city, or you get a rental car and you drive there. So you kind of wake up in the hotel and you have roughly a set outline of what Monster Jam wants you to do maintenance wise to your truck. So every week you're doing at a minimum the same things. You're changing oil in your truck, you're changing transmission fluid in your truck. With Monster Jam, you pull all of your corners apart. So you take all your axles out every week, inspect every part of your corner, change your spindle bolts every week, tighten all your spindle nuts up. Every single, it doesn't matter if you did 1 stadium or 5 arenas, whatever that truck did, you're going through it and you're checking it. Then you have all your damage on top of that, whether it's body work, chassis work, whether they blew the diff out of the truck or whatever it is. Then you assess your damage. You've got to wash your truck. You've got to repaint your truck. You've got to clean your truck. You got to do every bit of that every single week. And that's your job. That's what you do, regardless if your truck didn't break a thing or your truck's in 4 pieces and it's ratchet strapped together. You're tearing the same stuff apart. The only thing that changes is what the damage was. When you're independent, you add another level to that of you also have to drive the semi there. So you've got to get your semi with all your parts and all your tools. With Monster Jam, it just spawns in. It appears someone else got it there. All you're focused on is that truck. With an independent team, it's a lot different. You're focused on the truck will always be your main priority, but it's also the trailer that got it there, the semi that got it there, all the parts that are in the trailer. Independent teams don't just get a pallet of parts every week. That comes
Right.
from somewhere. Somebody has to order it. Somebody had to pay for it. Somebody had to ship it there. So a lot of that falls on at least the team shoulders, if not your shoulders. It depends on your position in every team. And with an independent team, your maintenance can be a little different because you do know your truck. With Monster Jam, it's like you might do 6-8 months with this chassis and then move over to this. And that driver drives different, that truck drives different. It's going to break different things. With an independent team, it's you got the same 2, 4, 6, 8, however many. Those are your trucks. They're going to do the same thing. The same guy's going to drive them. So you learn really quick, kind of like, okay, we might not need to check that this week. But he ripped that whole side of it off. So I should probably go over there. And you can kind of you learn the equipment and how it's going to react a little more personally, because we're not just swapping trucks around all the time. An independent owner only owns however many they own. That's it.
Right.
So, but there is that whole added, not necessarily workload, but the added amount of, okay, we used these parts. Who makes them? Where do they come from? How much are they? Are we ordering them? Did we order them? Where are we shipping them? When are we getting them? If you can fix parts on an independent team, that's always a priority. With Monster Jam, it's a lot of you can ship stuff back to the shop or somebody else will fix it for you. Maybe you can fix it while somebody else does that.
Mhm.
There's usually only one guy on an independent team, if you're lucky, per truck. So with Monster Jam, there's 2 guys per truck, 4 guys per trailer. So it's a lot easier to, oh, we need to rebuild that. Okay, that guy can do that. That guy can do that. And then there's still somebody standing around trying to figure out what's going on. With an
Right.
independent team, at times you're the only guy. And there's 3
Absolutely.
broken trucks and a pile of parts. And it's just different. In my opinion, it's a lot more fun because you do learn the trucks a lot more. And you do become, those trucks almost become an extension of you. Because there's no one else. There's no one else coming to fix it. There's no, oh, well, this guy gave me the truck like that. I just haven't got to it yet. Like, it's like that because you let it get like that, or because the driver ripped it off and now you need to go fix it.
Mhm.
So a lot of different things. I enjoy every single aspect of being independent. It's a lot of fun.
I'm sure you're definitely enjoying that driver's seat too, as you recently became one. No,
It's definitely been an adjustment for sure, going from the sidelines for that long. When you watch monster trucks, everybody says, "Oh, I could do that," and then you get in it and you realize very, very quickly that you can't. The physical, I mean, TJ will tell you, it's physically it's a lot, mentally it's a lot. I had the first time I drove a truck, the amount of respect I had for drivers tripled just with how much your brain is working in the truck and how much you're thinking about as you're doing it. Because if you're thinking about doing it as you're doing it, you're already too late. So
Yeah.
a whole lot of mindset change, but it's been really, really cool to go full circle and go from, 5 years of building the trucks and turning wrenches and keeping them together to, all right, well, maybe it's my turn to go tear it up now. So it's been a lot of fun.
it's awesome to hear, man. Anybody else? We got a lot of
So,
time.
so what was your first show that you drove at?
The first show I ever drove at was a monster truck militia show in North Dakota. I can't remember what city it was. It'll probably come to me as soon as this ends. But it was me in Overboard and Elvis Linez in Wildside. Me and Zach were gonna go do it with Mike Christensen. He had four of his trucks there. It was an awesome show. And last minute, Zach had something come up, so me and one other guy went up there. Elvis got off a plane and showed up, and I was probably the biggest ball of nerves I've ever been in my entire life. At that point, I had never jumped a truck. I had never held a truck wide open. I'd never launched a truck. I didn't know what was going on. And I went out there and had as much fun as I could have. It was a blast. Um, got to debut in a legendary name like Overboard, which is super, super cool.
Oh yeah,
And then just kind of carried it from there.
Is that the city down there? I don't know if you can read or not. Cam, you want to try saying it?
Wofford City. That's what it was. Yep. Yeah, it clicked. Yep. Wofford City, North Dakota.
how many identities have you driven?
What's that?
How many identities have you driven so far?
I'm at 5 now. I drove Overboard, Black Pearl, Blockhead, Maximus, and then last Saturday I got to drive the original Dirt Crew, which is just a trip. So
Nice.
I've been super fortunate that at DCT we've kind of just as guys have something that comes up, whether Jared needs a day or Darren's at home with his wife and kids or Too Tall has something, we just kind of rotate. You pivot. It's still a truck. It's going to do what it does, and you're going to go have fun in it, and you're going to put on a show. So I've knocked out 3 identities in 6 weeks, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
You're really moving with DCT, man.
I just got lucky, man. There's Jerry Beck is a super awesome dude, and he gave me a long leash for sure. And he was like, if this is what you want to do, go do it. Show us you can do it. Prove to us you can do it. Prove to yourself you can do it. I'll give you really good equipment. Have fun. But being around guys like Jared Smith, Darren Basil, Too Tall, those are some of the most talented guys you could be around. And then Tommy V is an absolute animal. That
He
kid,
is.
he might not tell you how he does it. He might not know how he does it, but that kid will look at a ramp and be like, watch this, and then go do it. And it's to call all those guys my friends and to be learning from all those guys is super, super awesome. The progression I've had since the first show to now is already insane to me, much less, spending another year or two with these guys. They're just insane behind the wheel of a truck.
So I guess my question is, I know some people may or may not do this, but have you when you break something, since you're driving now, or when you were crewing, have you saved any parts that broke, and if so, or some of the parts that you have fixed and that you're
Um,
like, this has never broken that way before in my life, or what, certain things that just keep like like a memento or something for it.
I haven't personally kept any. I've tried my entire career to not break trucks. Just with the mentality of like, I know how much effort it takes to put this thing back together. I've always tried to be really thoughtful about what I'm doing. I have blown the biggest damage I've had so far is I blew a hole in a tire, which is hard to keep as a memento. So I
Yeah,
let
that's
that
good.
one go. I've never kept anything from fixing other stuff. I think I've gave drivers pieces of stuff they've tore up before and been like, "Hey, go hang this on your wall." But for the most part, it's just kind of like, okay, well, if I broke it like that, let me see how else I can break it, and it's almost a challenge. So I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there somewhere that I've turned wrenches for that's got some memories of it and got it hanging on a wall, but me personally, I don't want to look at it. If I break something, that means I made a mistake, and I'd rather grow from it and not do it again and try to better myself that way. I feel like you should be able to go abuse a truck as hard as you can and still drive it off most of the time. It's still a machine. It is going to let you down. It's going to break every now and then, but crashing it on purpose or ripping it apart for no reason is just not always. There's guys for that. There are
Yeah.
trucks for that. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to put a crew guy through that. I don't want to put myself through that. It's way cooler to go out there and be like, dude, not only did I drive this thing as hard as I could, but I also made sure this truck could take it. It's like a double win for me. So maybe someday I'll have something cool on the shelf behind me to show for screwing something up, but we ain't made it there yet.
Absolutely. Do you have any like fiberglass or anything from any trucks or?
I've been fortunate enough. I've kept some cool pieces over the years. Jamie Gardner was nice enough to let me have the door off the overboard body that I debuted on, which he proceeded to crash a couple times after that. Um, so that's probably the coolest one, just because that was kind of the body that I got to go out and actually like I drove that.
Right.
That'll hang on the wall for until my dementia kicks in someday and I forget what I'm doing. That'll be on the wall. Me and Tyler Miniga got to retire Gravedigger 39. So I was his crew guy when that truck did its last farewell show. So I cut the hood that he proceeded to destroy with both headlights and the Roman numerals at 39 still in it. So I have that. And then the year me and Cynthia did world finals in Nashville, I kept a door. So I've got some cool stuff that like meant something to me over the years. Big moments in my career I've kept, but not a ton. I don't really try to hang on to too much because I know there's always going to be something cooler coming later
Mhm.
on.
Yeah.
So I always just look forward to that. And then if the moment's big enough to where it really means something, I'll snag a piece. But most of the time, I tried to fix it and put it back on. It's less work if I can put it back on the truck than it is to hang it in the garage. So
Yeah.
So how
You
many
don't need to be a hoarder.
how many trucks did you crew for Monster Jam?
there was a big. I think my biggest three were Dalmatian. I had Lindsey Reed and Jamie Sullivan in Monster Mud Dalmatian. I did two first quarters with Brianna Mahan and Scooby Doo, and then Tyler Miniga and GD39 were like the biggest three. But there were Lucas Oil was in there, Soldier Fortune was in there. I did a lot of work with the stunt truck when Tom used it as an airbag at Superstar. That was mine. So there's been a lot of different ones, but those are the three that I would say were like those were my truck for the time that I had them. A lot of fill-in work, especially when you go overseas.
Yeah.
Earthshaker, Soldier Fortune, stuff like that. That just you do 2 or 3 shows with it, you make it your own, but it's not. That's not your truck. When somebody else comes off vacation or they're not, they come back from being hurt or from wherever they were, that goes back to them. So those
Mhm.
were the 3 trucks that if you walk through the shop, they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Logan's truck." Those were the big 3 for sure. And
Pretty
Wild
sick to
Side.
have a, yeah. Pretty sick to have a digger under your name though, you know?
It was kind of weird how it happened. So I was with Brianna and Scooby Doo, and there was the rumor that Scooby Doo was going away. That it didn't really. There weren't any shows booked for it, and neither me or her really knew what was happening. We were like, well, if there's no shows, I didn't know what I was doing. I figured I would get moved somewhere, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And I was in Paxton, and Josh Dyke, the manager in Paxton, pulled me in his office, and he goes, "Hey, Dustin Brown, who's head of fleet management for Monster Jam, he's on a Zoom call. He wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh no." I start playing all stuff in my head of like, what did I do? What did I do? And I sit down and he's like, "Hey, I got a question." And I'm like, "Oh, this isn't getting any better. What's up?" He's like, "How would you feel about doing a arena tour with a Gravedigger?" And I was like, at that point, me and Chandler West had been in a trailer for almost 3 years together. He had Weston Anderson. Like, I've done tours with a Gravedigger forever. What's different? He's like, "It's your Gravedigger." And I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Who is it?" And he's like, "Tyler Miniga." And I was like, "That's really cool. Sign me up." So whatever year it ran the purple body at World Finals, I think it was after LA. I did LA with Scooby Doo. Tyler won, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he won. We go back to the shop and they parked the two trucks next to each other. And they were like, "All right, go from there to there." And I took off and we did, I think, 5 or 6 months of arena shows after that. So it was wild.
Yeah.
Was one of them Vancouver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one of the. I was wondering who you were with
So
when it was right at that time.
I've been to Vancouver a couple different times. I know I went twice with the company and then once with Team Overboard,
Oh,
but I don't remember exactly. A lot of the cities blur together
yeah.
after a while. I know I've been there, but I can't tell you who or why or when.
Speaking of cities, while we're at it, which places you've been to for Monster Jam Monster Trucks is your favorite, or that you have liked going to throughout the years?
My favorite all time was when me and Bree went and did Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky, because that was such a full circle moment. Everybody there could tell that it was a big deal to me. One of my best friends, Brandon Telechka, actually pulled a backflip out at that show because Bree didn't get a chance to make it. He knew it was that big a deal. I had so many friends and family in the crowd, and he's like, "Well, if you can't do it, I'll do it." And he did what I think is his only career backflip at that show, just because my truck couldn't. So that one I'll remember forever. Other than that, I think Houston. I've either had really, really great luck or wanted to just hang myself every time I've left Houston. So that place is really, really cool or really, really not. Anaheim is the same way. I think anybody that's been in monster trucks for a long time has feelings about Anaheim. They're not always good ones, but there's something about Angel Stadium when you drive a truck in it, you're just like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then Miami, Oklahoma, even though it's a muddy disaster every year, Miami's so much fun. You get to see so many people that you never see anywhere else, and it's such just for a place that big, it shouldn't be as awesome as it is. And I love everything about it. Getting to do Fowlerville for the first time last weekend, that one's creeping up there in favorites now too. That was a super, super awesome time. Hopefully we can make a return there and really throw down some more. That was fun. No cities that I really hate. Every city's got something cool about it. Some of them you have to try a little harder to find them, but there's always something cool regardless of where you're at.
There you go. There you go.
Well said.
So, who has been your favorite driver to work for or under, depending on who you're going to talk about?
My top two are definitely tied between Tyler and Zach, because not only are they amazing drivers, but they are some of the coolest people just to be around. Like, they have so much talent that it just reflects to whoever's around them. You learn more about trucks just being around people of that level than you would ever think. Because Tyler would do something and I'd ask him how he did it, and like a light bulb would click. I'd be like, oh, that's how you do that. Well, that's why that's like that. And that's why that, oh, okay, that's why I broke that. And so many things just rotate. And for them, it's not a big deal. They're just like, I don't know, I hit it and it does it. But for you, it's like, oh, wow. And then Lindsay Reed was super cool too. She was definitely, out of all the drivers that I've had my entire career, if I had to start over again, she would be the one I'd want to start over with. She was so patient and so just understanding about the fact that I had no idea what was going on. And she was just happy to be there and happy to drive it and super communicative about any problem she had. Brianna Mahan was a ton of fun, is always a ton of fun. She was so much fun to spend all the time I spent with her. Cynthia, the same way. And then Jamie Gardner, I learned so much about the business of monster trucks from Jamie Gardner. He could get out of a truck, tell you exactly what was wrong with it, tell you where to order it from, tell you how much it should be, tell you if it's too much, and then help you fix it. And then take you to Olive Garden 20 minutes later. Like, he was just, I learned between him and Jerry Beck, the business of monster trucks. I learned so much information about so fast. It's insane. Cole Vennard taught me. Cole Vennard has forgot more about monster trucks than most people will ever know. So just to sit in a hotel room and hear war stories from Cole was awesome. John Gordon's the same way. That dude has more talent in his brain than some people I've ever met. So they're all super fun in their own ways. But I think Zach and Tig are tied for the two that if I had to go crew for somebody again just to have fun, those would be the two for sure. You're gonna work a lot, but they'll keep it entertaining.
Since we're still on this topic, who has done more damage in one show, Tyler or Zach?
So I did get kind of lucky in the fact that I had Tyler in arenas. Tyler never really tore the truck up too bad in arenas. Tyler doesn't go out there with the intention of tearing the truck up, as much as his highlights say otherwise. Sometimes he never makes a hit and knows it won't work. That dude has calculated how it's going to work, where it's going to land, and what it's going to do before he ever hits it. Zachary, not always. Sometimes Zach will turn around and I swear, I think he just gets in the truck and he giggles and he goes, I wonder what this is going to do. And then it hits the ground. And that's why I love that kid. He's so much fun. He keeps it so entertaining. Having Zach his debut year on stadiums, it wasn't a learning curve because he knew what he was doing, but there were definitely some hits where even after he would be like, I didn't really think that was going to work, but I didn't think it was going to do this. And then you're just picking up the parts as you walk back to the truck. So I would say probably Zach, but it's no fault of his own. You know, coming in the stadiums, his debut year, we put a lot of parts on his truck. We upgraded a lot. Coming from arenas to stadiums, the truck was amazing. It's always been very solid, but it got significantly better the more parts he ripped off of it. So those first couple shows in stadiums were a little rough for a while.
So on that note, then, what has been the most destructive you've seen a show in general, not including World Finals, because that's guaranteed?
Most destructive, just from a long-term standpoint, we did San Diego. I don't remember what year it was. I remember John Gordon and Ryan Disharoon were with us. Whatever year they were touring Stadium West together. Week 1 in San Diego, just straight monsoon, hurricane, disaster. We fought problems from that show the entire year. But just a straight, that much rain, that much mud, being in trucks, especially brand new trucks. We were finding electrical gremlins and problems and dirt caked in this and stuff stuck to this for weeks after that show. I think the most just straight yard sale trucks I've ever seen. Indianapolis, maybe the same year. There was, I know Team Scream got a couple motors. Colt Stevens fell out of the sky sideways. There were a couple cartwheels, bunch of crashes. I just remember every single truck getting drugged to the trailer after the show. And we were all standing there like, what happened? And that was, I mean, I'm sure those fans got exactly what they paid for, man. It was an amazing show, but it tore some stuff up. That one sticks out. And I'm sure there was a Houston and an Arlington and an Anaheim where it's just yard sales and carnage, but that's what you get. It's the price you pay.
Yeah.
So, so you're now independent. Do you enjoy being independent more than you do with Feld?
I would say yes. Being filled definitely has a convenience factor to it. Um, you get hotel rooms every night, you get per diem. There's always parts. That's the biggest thing with Feld is there's a constant flow of parts. You literally download an app on your phone, and when the show's over, you scroll through a list of every nut, bolt, piece, and part on a monster truck, and you select what you broke. You press submit, and the following week it shows up on a pallet in the next city. Being an independent, you're the app. You have to go find all that. You have to order all that. You have to ship all that. So being being with the company, it kind of speeds the process up.
Yeah.
But being independent, in my opinion, is way more fun because sometimes there's that whole like, we don't have another one of these. We're gonna fix this, and you can get creative and really put your own mind to work, and that's where you learn a lot more. In my opinion, is like, okay, how do I take this from completely destroyed and shouldn't function to gonna survive for another 3 weeks? And you do it, and you do it successfully, and it makes it way more fun. Also, being independent, you're on the road more, you're with your team more. So if you like your team and you get along with everybody on your team, you really become a family. With Monster Jam, you're still with those guys, you're still traveling with those guys, but you all go home and you're separate. Being independent, it's like, all right, I'll see you guys in 6 hours. And then we're gonna get in a semi and we're gonna drive for 14 more hours. And
Yeah.
like me and Tommy have became super close over the past couple weeks just because we've done so many shows together. We know exactly how to push each other's buttons and exactly how to make each other roll around on the floor laughing. And that's a ton of fun. And then when you start getting into like, hey, you really tore your truck up. How are we going to fix that? And then you get to pivot off each other and kind of learn and grow together, use your brains. And it's fun for sure. I don't think I would ever trade being independent to go back to a company setting, regardless of who it was. I have a lot of fun doing what I'm doing.
So is your goal right now to take one of these DCT identities and make it your own?
I don't really know if I want to make it my own per se, because Jerry Beck has always had pretty amazing drivers in his trucks. So regardless of what identity I wound up in someday, I want to carry the torch of whoever represented it. So if it's Blockhead, I want to do Darren Basil proud. If people saw Darren last weekend and then they see me in 2 years, I want them to be like, wow, that dude's still really good. Not who is that? Like, I want it to, I want to carry the legacy that those guys have built in those names with my own spin on it. Maybe all of a sudden Blockhead can do nose wheelies someday. Like, that would be cool, but I don't ever want to take away from what those guys did and what those guys have built in those trucks either.
That makes sense.
Unless it's a Cybertruck. Yeah, we can start over with the Cybertruck.
That thing's something, man. It always looks wrecked when I see it in person. So, so there was a show sometime this summer where you drove. I think it was Black Pearl
Mhm.
with Throttle Monster,
Yep.
and you rolled over onto the fence. What went into that?
Lack of talent and lack of experience is 100% all that was. I had at that point one show where the seat time under my belt, wasn't really sure what the truck was going to do, didn't really have an idea, and just was trying. It didn't work. It's that simple. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot in your head. There's a lot that you're trying to think about. And I don't know if I was caught up in what was coming or what I had just done or wherever I was, but my brain didn't match what my body was doing to give the truck inputs, and it wound up not working. So I learned a ton from it. it was one of those things that I will never allow to have happen again. Fortunately, it went the way it went. Nobody got hurt. Nothing really, as unfortunate as it was the best case scenario for what happened, other than it just not happening. And everybody moved on from it. It wasn't my best moment by any means, but that's how you learn at the end
Yeah.
of the day. So gained a ton of knowledge from it and just learned very rapidly what that truck can and can't do and what it will do if you disrespect it.
I mean, I think everybody in their career eventually has a moment like that. The Tom Mentzes and the Dennis Andersons all had moments like that
Mhm.
coming up in the business. So I don't think it was a bad. I mean, it wasn't the best, but I don't think it was that bad.
For it to be the second show is never ideal. Fortunately, I did get other chances to get back in a truck and to prove that that was an accident and prove that it was a fluke and it's not something that's going to become a pattern. There's been many people over the years that have made a mistake like that and never got a chance to come back from it. So I'm super fortunate for that. But it's still never something that you want to see happen. Definitely not something you want to be a part of. And we're just going to do our best every time we're in a truck from here on out to never let that mistake be repeated.
Absolutely.
So, question for you: for the when you're in the driver's seat.
Mhm.
So, what is your best move, or that you feel like you can do? Like a snap of your finger. Versus, what's your most difficult move that always gives you trouble?
So it's been that's something I've been kind of asking myself lately. Having drove multiple different trucks for DCT, they all react different. So if you've ever seen Darren Basil's blockhead, it's a coilover truck. Jared Smith's truck, Maximus, is a little stiffer of a setup in comparison to a normal coilover or a bypass truck. And then Jerry Beck's Dirt Crew is a completely different, unrelated animal in comparison to those two. So, like Jerry's truck, if you get in it and you can't do a wheelie in it, you probably shouldn't be in a monster truck. Darren's truck is a big air truck. It likes the bigger you go, the better it feels. And then I don't have a ton of seat time in Jared's truck, but it reacts really well to just about whatever you tell it to do. So I'm hoping to make some of the new school stuff kind of my signature move, whether that's probably not bicycles. It seems like Tommy's got a pretty good grasp on those, but I would like to figure nose wheelies out, maybe combinations someday. It's a long time down the line from now. But I think my favorite thing to do is just air a truck out, just hit something hard, launch a truck, be up there, and just let people go, whoa, wow. 'Cause
Yep.
as long as you've got the environment for it and as long as you've got the ramp for it, it's pretty cool. And there's a lot of guys that just don't want to do it. They'd rather stay low to the ground and move really fast and make a bunch of noise and do all this cool technical stuff. But I can't figure that out. I couldn't do a nose wheelie if you told me to. But I can hit that ramp over there really hard and try to do something cool. So that's for now, I guess that's kind of been where I'm at with it. That's where I'm trying to perfect that, and then truck control, leaving a ramp, hitting a ramp in the air, grasp all the real basics of that, and then the other stuff will come with time. And if we have this conversation again in a year, you guys will probably be like, "Oh yeah, that's your thing," and it won't even be on purpose. It'll just be something that I've just felt and flowed through, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, so we've talked about a lot in the last 40 or so minutes, how many drivers you've been under and crewed under. Now that you're driving full time, do you take anything that you learned from like Zach or Tig and put that into how you drive?
I wouldn't say yes, absolutely, but also no. So the more drivers that you interact with and the more drivers that you talk to, everybody has a different way to do the same thing. So you can take all that information and put it in your brain and kind of come up with your own way to do it. So every driver is going to take a corner different. Every driver is going to hit a ramp different. Every driver is going to hit the gas and the brake at a different time. So having all that information in my head has definitely helped. it's definitely led me in a direction, but there's still the reflexes of your body, what you're going to do, what your brain thinks is right, what your experience level and your amount of seat time is going to tell you is right. And you're going to kind of learn on your own as well. So had I not have worked with all those guys and they not have been as awesome as they were over the years in communicating and giving that information, I highly doubt I would be as successful at it as I have been. But also you still get in there and you're like, wow, this is cool. And you get excited and your body takes over sometimes and you have to calm yourself down and go, all right, we're going to do this, this, and this. If you go out there and you try to be Tyler Miniga, you'll never get there. If you go out there and you just try to be you and you just have fun, all that stuff that you've learned over the years just kind of flows and it happens. And then you watch a video of it and you're like, wow, that was lame. So the next time you go out and you try a little harder and a little harder. And then you watch videos of your friends and you're like, okay, well, if he can do it, I can do it. And you just work yourself through it. You get there on your own.
So with that mentality, you're going to try to do that bicycle Tommy did this last time?
I mean, he can keep all of that. Nope. Nope. Dude, Tommy's an animal, but he's also got 2 or 3 years worth of seat time more than I do. So I would love to be able to pull something like that out someday, but I feel like it would be almost disrespectful now to get in a truck and go out there and do stuff like that. I really want to prove that I can get in a truck and I can go make my hits and I can put on a show and do it without hurting the truck, without hurting myself, without hurting anybody else, do everything the right way. And then someday when I completely forget there's a ramp there and I hit it sideways and I pull a sick bicycle out, I'll be like, oh, wow. Not I crash a truck because I'm trying to do something that I'm just not ready to do. So when that time comes, I don't know, but you guys will see it whether it goes good or not.
Yeah.
Right. So you're always on the road a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your go-to like gas station or like quick meal on the road?
Cheez-Its and Hot Pockets for sure. There's chicken bacon ranch Hot Pockets are where it's at. And then Too Tall's got me on these raspberry Uncrustables now. Big fan. So those are kind of the, if you ever got in our semi, there's definitely Hot Pockets and Uncrustables at the ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What
I
is
gotta turn
your?
this light on? Hold on.
Yep.
You're good. Take your
You're
time,
good.
man.
It got dark real fast.
He's turning into TJ over there.
Wow.
Trying.
Okay, I think that's better. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, since Wade's not here, he can't ask the pizza questions. So, what's your favorite toppings for pizza?
I'm a big chicken bacon ranch guy, man. If I can do chicken bacon ranch anything, that's what we're gonna do. Whether it's pizza, Jimmy John's, Hot Pockets, whatever it is, that's what we're going with. If not, just cheese. You don't need to put all that extra stuff on it. Wayne gets a little wild with all that. It's pizza. It's cheese and bread. It's the whole point.
And no pineapple on pizza. No.
No, it's
I don't know how you do it.
just die on. It doesn't belong.
Gross.
I don't care if you call it Hawaiian. There's no excuse. Get it off.
Not even a lot. It's Canadian.
No. It's not happening.
I like pineapple on pizza.
She's wrong.
You got the peanut gallery.
Trust me, I know.
So, speaking of Savannah, she had a question, but Cam has never clicked on it or said anything about it yet.
Did you have a question?
She did.
Oh,
You
she
didn't
did.
see it?
Yeah. She typed in the chat. She said, "What's the next show you're driving at?"
Gaithersburg, Maryland, Tuesday next week. I'll be in Dirt Crew and Jared Smith will be in Maximus. We're gonna go do some Renegade Monster Truck shows. Tuesday, Wednesday in Gaithersburg, and then that Saturday we're somewhere else in Maryland, and then we'll roll back through. I think it's Woodfield, Ohio, that following Monday. So we got a couple. I think we got 4 or 5 shows lined up over the next week. So Tommy's actually getting married this weekend. So he left the old Dirt Crew open. And it is way too much fun for me to let it just sit there. So we're gonna go run it. We're gonna go have a blast.
Oh, these two live in America. and Maybe they can come up and see you.
For sure.
Maybe.
Tell them come hang out.
Depending on how close I am to Catherine where it is. I'm still new to here.
In Gaithersburg, yeah. It's probably in between, like in the middle of us, Monica, honestly.
How far away is it from Baltimore?
It's close enough. I'll see you Tuesday.
So,
Oh,
so those
good.
shows are during the week?
There's Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not totally sure. I'd have to look at the calendar. And then Saturday, and then the Full Throttle show in Ohio is Monday.
Nice.
Yep.
Interesting. It's always
If
weird.
we're leaving home, we try to book it to where we're doing something on the way back, just to make it. If the trucks are in the trailer and the drivers are in the semi,
Right.
we might as well
Well, fair enough. Make that money.
try to
Yeah,
go crash a truck to sell some T-shirts. That's what we do.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Ranch definitely belongs on pizza, Mike Trapper. It's the best dipping
Yeah.
sauce for pizza. Come on, boss.
Ranch is iffy. Ranch
Dude,
is-
ranch is life.
Well, this guy only eats like chicken tenders. Like they are very weird over there. I don't know how they get by. It's chicken tenders and pizza. It's
They'll grow up someday.
Right.
Buddy, I'm into the monster trucks. I'm never growing up.
It's very fair.
He'll be in there with his propeller hat and just enjoying the show.
Yeah. I'll show up to that show in Ohio with a propeller hat, and I'll just,
I would be just as excited as you are. Don't you worry.
I gotta
So-
do it for you, my line. Oh my god.
So what's your do you have a favorite identity that you've ran yet, or
Black Pearl was really cool just because Colvinard doesn't entrust many people with it. There's not been a long list of drivers over the years, so it was really cool to add my name to that. I think my favorite has to be Blockhead, just because the fan interaction with Blockhead is so cool. Whether they're kids or adults, or the grandpa that's walking up with his grandson is just as excited about it as the grandson. It's a giant Lego. People love it. It's cool. I'll sit there and flash the lights on it when somebody else does something cool and try to get everybody amped up. It's been really fun to go out and represent the big Lego. And I think it's just such a cool theme when you look at what monster trucks are. We do this for kids and for families and for that whole demographic. And to see the little kids, just you can hear it. You'll be standing at the truck and you'll hear, "It's the Lego one," and they'll just come running. They'll run past the dump truck, past Bigfoot, past whatever's there to come see the Lego. And it's so cool to just know that you put your helmet on and you're like, yeah, now I got to go do something cool.
now
Can't-
that truck is not fiberglass, is it?
No, it's one of it might be one of the only steel-ish bodies left in monster trucks. So it's actually
Is-
like HVAC ductwork.
Mm.
So
Isn't the Tesla
instead of
one like that?
what's that?
Isn't the Tesla one like that?
Yeah, it's the same setup, but Blockhead takes it a little better for sure.
Right.
It's a little more rollover rated, but it's basically HVAC siding almost. The same stuff that they make all your air ducts and everything else out of. We buy it in big sheets and bend it and vinyl wrap it to make it Blockhead. So it's cool to know that when you roll over, you can fix it with a hammer
Right.
instead of having to grind it down and fiberglass it and paint it and do all that. No, just hit it with a hammer. It's a nice touch for sure, but I definitely wouldn't recommend steel bodies for everything. It's cool that it's very straight, a lot of 90-degree corners, and it's definitely a really good setup for a sheet metal body.
Yeah.
So would you recommend that for more like panel van vehicles then, or would it just have to be more of a square kind of rigid body in general?
Just a square for sure. When it's also, I don't know exactly what the cost effectiveness is going from fiberglass to that, but I don't think that sheet metal really can do what fiberglass does, and if we did tear it up to the point that we couldn't fix it with a hammer, there's no go to a store and just buy more fiberglass and buy more mat. Like, that's it. I can't just weld another panel on it. So
Right.
it's got its perks, but it's also got its downfalls. And I think for what we do with Blockhead being just straight 90-degree corners and just one big flat side, it's cool. But like some of your big panel van bodies, they would weigh so much that it wouldn't even be worth trying.
Yeah, they use fiberglass for how light it is. So.
Yeah.
It's not.
And the sounds a metal truck makes when it rolls over, I highly doubt are good. So just leave it with fiberglass.
Touche.
If it cracks, you just glass it real quick, call it a day. So
So
It's,
how easy is it to fix a fiberglass body when like somebody rolls over?
it depends. If you have all the pieces, it's not fun by any means. Because sitting there grinding the fiberglass down, it's just glass particles in the air at that point. That's why you got to wear a mask. And the hotter it is outside, the worse it is because it'll stick to your skin and it'll stick to sweat. Or you got to wear long sleeves and a hoodie to grind it down, which is even less fun. But fixing it isn't necessarily the bad part. It's the prep work that goes into it. If you know the mixture between resin and your solvent, your hardener, and all that, then it's okay. But not a fun experience by any means. And then if you trash it to the point that you can't find all the pieces, then it starts getting really fun. Then you're trying to make something, especially if you're on the road because you don't have a mold. It's not like you have the original to lay it in and glass it back together. You're kind of guessing as to where this notch went or where this curve was, and you can make it look just as bad as you could make it look good if you don't know what you're doing. And it's never been my specialty. If there's somebody that offers, I don't know how many times we paid poor Bam to put a wild side body back together for us. We were like, we don't even know where the rest of it is. If you want to, here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks. So
I know how much Bam loves fiberglass work. So
she's very talented at it for sure. She's given us back some stuff, and we're like, oh wow, we didn't think that was possible. And then we take it right back off after the next show, and we're like, here you go.
Round two.
So,
So when you were still with Jamie, how many independent teams did you like work with that were on the same tours? That like, did you have like a favorite one you like touring with, or?
so when I was with Jamie, we toured with the Pags my first year, and then it was all four of us together all summer, so there weren't any other independents. And then we had Mike and Dalton with us this first quarter. And I love all of them equally. The Pags are so much fun. The same characters you see online and in Pit Party are the same dudes you get on a Tuesday afternoon. Like those guys just live to have fun. We spent a week and a half at Bill Payne's shop working on trucks before Seattle with those guys, and we laughed every 30 seconds. But Mike and Dalton are equally just as much fun. Me and Dalton have been really close for a long time, and I have a ton of respect for Mike. He's one of the people in the sport that I have learned the most from, whether it's driving a truck, whether it's running a team, whether it's just somebody to make fun of you when you do something stupid. Mike Christensen is there. He is there. And I've learned a ton from him, Wendy, Bam, all of them. So I don't think I really have a favorite. They've all been enjoyable to be around for sure. If I had to pick, probably Nick Pag, just because he is so much fun and takes nothing at all seriously. He just wants to have fun and be there. And then Dalton, of course, being one of my best friends. It was really cool to watch him pilot the Turtle all year. Never rolled it, never crashed it. No matter how many times we tried to get him to, no matter how much ice cream we offered to buy him if he did it, he wouldn't do it. But it was really cool it's always cool to watch your friends go succeed, and to see him place, I think he got 4th on our tour, was like super awesome. To watch that dude go out and just kill it. That was sick.
I mean, it definitely takes a whole lot of talent to not be able to roll over a truck like that. And
I don't
still,
think he could if he tried. I don't think he remembers how to do it. I don't think he would know what to do if he was there. I mean, it's been a calendar year since that dude has been upside down. I don't know. I just think there's something about gravity that doesn't want him there. Whatever his cheat code is, I hope he passes it over here because he's got it figured out.
Yeah, because I remember talking to the boys on the podcast after he left Throttle Monster, and then Austin rolls it over on his first drive, and we're like, well, that shows it wasn't the drive, or it wasn't the truck.
Well, Austin got kind of dealt a bad hand there too. I mean, trying to rip around at Lamar with a flat tire. We were all standing there watching him. That truck was not happy about anything Austin was trying to make it do after the flat tire, and nobody really blames that hit on him. I think if Dalton would have been there and the cards would have gone the same way, the truck would have still rolled. I just think it was meant to happen there. A calendar year from when it showed up, it was meant to happen. So props to
What a
Austin for
celebration.
driving it at the level he drove it though. That dude slaughtered it. It was awesome. To watch him go out and backflip out of the blue was so cool. We were so amped up.
Now, did you obviously you grew up a fan, right? So
Mhm.
did you have a favorite driver you were always like, hey, I want to see this guy when I'm at shows or something like that? Or
I mean Dennis, Tom, Adam, Ryan for sure. Alan Pizzo actually used to do the county fair in my hometown every year from like 2007 to like 3 weeks ago. He has done it every year, never missed a year, always been there. So growing up in Kentucky, going to Thunder National shows, he was very present for a long time. So Predator was always a cool truck. I never really associated drivers for a long time. Like I knew somebody was in it, but I didn't really care who. I just cared that truck looked cool. So I was a big Predator fan for a lot of years, and then all of a sudden it was like, wow, what's this one with red headlights? Wow, that was cool. And then you kind of just go from there. Neil Elliott was always a favorite of mine for a long time. I got to see him drive a couple times, never in a stadium, but I got some real Neil Elliott arena shows in my childhood. I can go dig back in fine. Morgan Kane was always super cool too. I saw a lot of him. So guys like that were around a lot. I never really knew monster trucks other than what showed up in Freedom Hall every year. That was monster trucks. So if I walked in and there was 2 new trucks there, I was like, oh wow, they could have been there for 10 years. I wouldn't have known. They were new to me.
Yeah.
So it changed a lot. And then being in the sport now, you got your favorites, but they're all because that's the trucks your friends drive, or that's the trucks that, mean something to you personally. So
right? Do you have well, like you said, you've grown up going to Freedom Hall your entire life. Do you have a favorite memory or show that you like always come back to?
I think it was 2007 or 8. Frank Krimmel drove Donkey Kong there, and there's just something I've always remembered that for some reason. Out of everything, my entire childhood, all the shows my dad took me to, I remember Donkey Kong just straight broadsiding a van, and little old me thought it was the coolest thing that had ever happened. So that one sticks out. And then it had been a year or two since me and my dad had ever gone to a show, and I was working full time. He was working full time, and right before I applied to Monster Jam, we went, and that was when I saw like my first in person backflip. I can't remember if it was Kristen or Tyler or somebody, but that moment sticks out a lot too because I remember walking in and sitting down, and we had my little cousin with me. And he was like, what's that ramp for? And I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't look like it should be there. I think somebody messed up. And then all of a sudden I see a truck hit it. And I'm like, what was that? What? That's a thing? And that was always a really cool moment too.
Yeah, Donkey Kong's a hard one to forget. I remember four finals. It's like, I know that one.
I don't.
That's one of my favorite
been-
trucks you're talking about.
There's been so many trucks, and one show a year. As a fan, I always used to remember the one the year before and the year before, and then as I've gotten older, especially doing this many shows now, it all just goes away. But I remember Donkey Kong came out of the tunnel and just smacked the van, and I was like, it's always been in the brain somewhere.
Yeah.
One of my favorites has always been, this is going to show my age, has always been, what's it called, Little Tiger or White Tiger?
Yep, Little Tiger.
Yeah, Little Tiger always was one of my favorites.
I think that predates me, man.
I'm with you there, TJ.
I mean, TJ's the old one here, so
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a nursing home for those two soon.
yeah.
The back
so
pain.
So I was like you growing up. I live right outside of Cincinnati, so we only ever went to the Cincinnati shows. So when we finally started traveling for other jam shows, I'm like, hey, let's go down to Louisville. It's only an hour and a half from us. We went down for one show a couple years ago, where Zach and John Zimmer Jr. were still touring together.
Wow, that would have been a good one.
We went down there to see those two and Cody Associate, because she's a big
Oh.
Cody Associate fan. And I'm like, dude, this is a great floor. They have all this room they can rope around in and stuff like that. And then Brandon Talonso comes zooming out for intros and just flips the truck right during intros. And I'm like, well, I've never seen that before.
Attaboy. Yeah, I always thought that was how all arenas were. I thought like that was a typical arena. And then I remember when I started with Jam, we did our first like Dasher building tiny little place. And I walked in and I was like, what is this? And I'm like, this is an arena show. I'm like, no, it's not. And I started talking to like some of the more experienced senior techs that had done a lot of shows. And they're like, dude, Freedom Hall's like the biggest arena. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I got lucky there, I guess. I don't know if I would have thought monster trucks were that cool if I grew up with some of these tiny little places, but getting to see trucks just aired out in there for 10 years was definitely influential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my first one was the little crush cars. One hit, one done. Boom, that's it. That's all they had in Baltimore Arena.
That's all I needed back in the day, though.
That's true.
I got lucky with the outdoor area, but it was still just like TJ said. It was just 2 lanes of crush cars and a van stack, and that's what it was.
They had to pull it there with their horse and carriage.
Absolutely. So, with all these truck shows on your mind, what has been your best fan experience you've had?
So there was a little guy. His name's Zayden. He came to Miami, Oklahoma, not this year, but the year before. And he came up and he was really wanting to talk to Zach. And Zach was signing post-show autographs. So I talked to him for a minute. And his mom pulled up a picture of a Wild Side themed birthday party. The kid had a full-blown Wild Side birthday party just from stuff he'd seen on YouTube. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So the crew shirt I had that I wore for the show, covered in mud, covered in whatever, I gave to the kid. And that kid has proceeded to follow us around for years. He is our best friend. He comes to all the shows, comes running up, gives us a big hug, knows all our names. He could watch YouTube right now, and he could tell you whether I'm driving the truck or Zach's driving it, whoever it is. That kid is our biggest number one fan, whether it's me or Zach. So that's been super cool because over the last 2.5 years, we've watched that kid grow up. He came walking up to us, barely walking, barely talking, to now he'll come running up and have a full conversation with you about something that you did a year ago that you don't even remember. So that's been super cool. Hopefully he comes around for a lot of years. That kid's he's something. And then there's been a bunch of good ones. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of Make-A-Wish stuff over the years, seeing how those kids and those families react to just sitting in Gravedigger or just walking up and getting a picture with, El Toro Loco or Wildside or whatever it is. That stuff's always been really, really special. As unfortunate as it is that why, it's still super cool to be like, I was a part of that. That one memory that this kid is going to carry for the rest of their life, I get to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So there's been a lot of cool stuff like that.
It's always the best part about Monster Trucks is we bring smiles to the community.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there's a bunch in there. I get messages sometimes from fans years ago, and they'll have a picture that we took at a pit party, like pop up in their memories or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was there. We did do that. That was a horrible show. But it's cool that there are people out there that remember that kind of stuff and carry it on and keep it alive for you.
Yeah.
And why was it a horrible show? Because you had probably a lot of fixing you had to do.
That's good, though.
Because you had to work.
I always try to remind myself, as unfortunate of a night as it might be for me, I am only one person. There were 70,000 people out there that are going to go home and talk about how awesome that was and how cool that was.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can deal with the work. Like, if you break down the fraction, I'm a very small percent out of the people that came here to see that do exactly what it just did. So,
Yep.
well, I try to walk out every show with a smile on my face, even if the truck's in a pile and I know I'm not going to bed. At least I'm like, well, all the people that are driving home on their way to go to bed got an awesome show. So, try again tomorrow.
Well, hopefully you're going to be one driving at Fowlerville next year. I think that'd be because that show's always pretty good. I would love to see you all amongst that lineup.
As long as my boy Tommy gets a shot, I'll either be happy to put it back together for him or go out there right there with him. You know, that kid's put his time in. He's got a lot of hours, whether it's just in DCT or all the other teams he's been at. He's definitely earned a shot on some big floors before I have. But if somebody called me and told me to go do it, the last thing I'm gonna do is say no, man. I would love to get out there and try some of those bigger floors someday.
So this was your first year in Fowlerville, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole thing? Did you get to see any of it, or?
Oh, I watched the whole thing. It was actually the first ever monster truck throwdown show I'd ever been a part of. I'd only seen highlights, and I was like, dude, this Elliott guy looks like he throws down. Like, this looks like fun. But I'd never actually got to do one. You know, whether I was with Monster Jam, you're doing Monster Jam. And then with Jamie, we did so much Monster Jam that it was hard to go do other shows. We did the big ones. We did Wheatland, Miami, Springfield, stuff like that. But a lot of those Elliott shows fell when we were on the way to or from or at another jam show.
Right.
So to go to Fowlerville, I didn't really know what to expect. And then knowing it was the Zimmer's hometown, I'm like, all right, well, we're gonna get rowdy. There's no way around that. Like, these dudes are gonna come throw down. And then I got there and I looked at the track, and me and Too Tall walked around it, and I could just see his brain working. He was like, I could do this and this. And then I started getting like, all right, well, here we go. But to stand at the trailer and watch was so cool. Watching tandem freestyles and like Psycho Circus and Blockhead doing wheelies together is not something I ever thought I would get the chance to witness in person. And it's probably one of the top 10 coolest things I've ever seen. Because like, neither of those trucks should have been doing what they're doing, much less together. And they're doing it right there. So that was super cool. Tandem backflips, you know, Too Tall going out there and driving the wheels off the truck, literally, was pretty awesome. And it was just a ton of fun. Like, everybody came over, was working on everybody's stuff. We broke a spindle in racing, and I was turning around for crew guys for teams that I'd never met before. And they're handing me wrenches and tools. And I'm like, thanks, man. I'm Logan. Nice to meet you. And it's just to have that kind of like a community at a show was so cool. And then to watch the truck go back out there after we thrashed on it and got it done and watch it do what it did was so sick. It was so much fun. I would do that show every weekend if they told us to.
Yeah, that's always a great show. I've only done it the past 2 years, but the past 2 years it's been amazing both times. So
I'm excited to go back next year, whether I'm standing there with wrenches or with a helmet. Either way, it's definitely something I don't want to miss.
Or at the merch stand.
Nah, somebody's selling merch for us next year. That was way too much fun for me to miss it. But yeah, if you ever come to a show, buy some DC t-shirts. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
DC t-shirts.
Go rock out with some Blockhead merch, man. It's cool.
That's how they make their money, guys. It's not by showing up and driving. It's more the merch.
Put Darren's kids through college.
There you go.
Go help the guys out. You can help us out too by buying some more merch.
All right.
Oh.
This is about him. Chill out.
Whoa.
I'm not flexing my stuff. Chill out. Come on.
Oh, I think Wayne has a question in chat. Let's see what Cam, you want to read it?
Oh, but he won't join us? Wow.
Exactly.
No, I
That's
can't
fine.
read. Monko, I'll let you
Right.
take that one.
How was your driving experience against Jeff? I'm going to say his last name wrong.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bauer.
Bauer.
So to give you guys a little backstory
Oh.
on the legendary Jeff Bauer, before I tell you how my driving experience was, he has been in the monster truck world for, probably since Moses parted the Red Sea, honestly. He's like 285 years old. He started with Ryan Rice in Incinerator, worked for the Hall Brothers for a long time, and now he helps Jamie Gardner out all the time. Flies in and out of shows. One of the most solid dudes on that team. always shows up with a smile and an awesome attitude, even if there's two engines hanging out of trucks. He just shows up, laughs, and helps. He's awesome. So my first year with Team Overboard, Jamie did a driving experience, which is where Wayne and TJ got to come out and wheel the trucks around. But before that, there was a small amount of ramp testing that needed to occur because out of all the people in this world that you should trust to build a ramp, Zach Gardner probably isn't one of them. So to make sure they worked, Jamie was like, why don't Logan and Jeff go give them a shot? So Jeff had no idea he was driving. He just came up thinking he was helping, just showed up, had zero clue he was going to get in the truck. And as soon as he got there, we threw a helmet at him and we were like, you've earned it, go have at it. So he went out and made some hits and killed it, had an awesome time, and then proceeded to challenge me to a race, which I proceeded to lose twice. Jeff did not care how much dust was on the track, where the ramp was, or where the other truck was. He was going to win. So I count his 280 years of experience, whether it was in a monster truck or not, in his favor. But yeah, I lost to Jeff Bowers. The first race I was ever in a monster truck, honestly. And I lost to Jeff and then lost to Jeff again. And I would lose to Jeff again tomorrow just to do it with him. And for us to get out of the trucks and just high five and be so stoked that we even got to do it, to see the look on that old man's face was worth every bit of it, whether I won or lost. So props to
That's
Jeff. We're 2-0. Someday we will have a rematch, and it'll probably be 3-0, but that's okay. I'll at least try.
That's what matters.
As long as I get my rematch with Wayne, and then maybe attempt to challenge Logan, I'd be okay with that too.
Buddy, I don't think you're gonna get up there.
I just gotta get that rematch.
I don't know.
If that freaking pump didn't blow, I would have whooped Wayne 2-0.
Yeah.
Well, if Duke boys get their own trucks, maybe you guys could have your own rematch then and there.
I will be front and center in the stands to watch them both crash in opposite ends.
They're crashed like Joe Foley did up in Fellerville.
Hey, he got shut off. That was not officially his fault.
No, that bulldozer jumped right out.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where it even came from, really.
He thought it was a monster truck. It's part of the ramp. It's okay.
Yeah, he thought the rest of DCT was there.
How about it? Just missed the Lego. That one's still shiny.
What's this one?
Gosh darn it.
Please ask Logan what his favorite obscure monster truck is.
I love to hear you say obscure one more time, but okay.
Just repeat the whole question. I want you to use big words.
I am terrible at reading. You're not getting that one.
We've noticed. That's why I want you to do it one more time. Then I'll answer the question.
What a guy. It says, please ask Logan what his favorite obscure monster truck is.
What's the rest of it?
Perchance. Is it Slick and Ace?
So I have this thing where I love just weird, probably crappy monster trucks that shouldn't be monster trucks. I think they're so cool. The fact that somebody built it and you can tell that they built it in a barn behind their house and they're just out doing it. And so at one point I came across this truck called Slick and Ace. If you've never seen it, go look it up. It is comically amazing.
Can we pull it up?
Yeah, it's so cool.
I am working on it
It's so terrible.
CK working
It's
on
so cool at the same time. Like, it's not something I'd ever want to work on, drive, or even be in the same county as. But it's cool. Somebody built it in a barn and was like, this is a monster truck, and I'm going to go jump it. And it never worked. It never did anything cool. I don't remember how me and my buddy Nathan Hills wound up talking about it, but it's been a running joke for a long time that that's the truck. It's just comically amazing.
TJ's
I think TJ found it.
Like, Elliot Miller has an obsession with Rap Attack for some reason. We all have that one truck that, like, it's not real. It shouldn't be a truck, but it is, and that's what makes it cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bad.
See it, TJ.
It's bad, and it's funny.
It's funny. I don't want to put my 2 cents in, but
Oh, you could put them out loud. It's okay. It's bad.
It reminds me of like identity theft almost because the hood.
Are you going to show it or what, buddy?
Yes, I'm working on it.
The cage is 2 different sizes on each side, which is my
Oh, is it
favorite
like
part.
Project X, where that one's
It's
just
so much worse. Project X, I feel like you might survive. This not so much.
There's another one that's like absolutely atrocious. It seems like they slapped
Ooh.
a tractor on top of a bulldozer somehow, but it has
Yeah.
monster truck tires.
But I love that stuff. It's like somebody spent a large amount of time on something they probably shouldn't have and created it, and they're calling it a monster truck. Dude, look at that thing. It's so terrible.
Closer.
Is that a war wagon body on the back end with the
I think it's like a Dodge Power Wagon or something. I don't know, but it's
hilarious.
comically
Oh,
hilarious.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
I don't remember. Me and Nathan were talking one day, and this creature specimen came up, and I just deep dove on it for like 5 minutes, and it was just my favorite thing.
Oh,
It's
that
so
one-
rad.
That one's
Beam
better than
needs
the
to
other one.
make that classic body.
That's
Yeah, I would love to see it. If everyone could DM my friend Nathan Hills and tell him that this needs to show up in some form of video game, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, that body right there needs to be showing up.
That whole creation, just it's so yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not the front end from the first one. From a distance, it looked like Identity Theft front end or the hood. But
It's I don't
The
know the
Willys
story
front
on
end.
it. I don't know where it came from, but it somehow appeared one time, and I was like, "What is this?" And
At
that
least
was
you know if it was still around and someone could do a moonwalk with it, that bumper would be supportive.
I doubt there's a weld on that would be supportive nowadays, but you know,
You're right.
you-
You're right.
in
I'm very fortunate
2014
that I'm very fortunate I drive equipment that's not anywhere close to that.
Okay, how do I get this off?
Wild looking trucks, man. You gotta love them.
That's what makes the sport go around. If people weren't innovative, whether it's good or bad, people got to think of something. You could have
Just
a Gen
like-
2 PEI or that. Your call.
Just like the Tesla truck, everybody has unique ideas.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a unique idea? That new T-Max that they've been running that tried to do that backflip a couple weeks ago.
Oh, the Ready Next Level, something like that show, yes.
Yeah.
Or the El Taco Loco, which they still run. I thought that got shut down.
No, that's not copyright.
I would love to see that truck up close one time. I just
Oh, yeah. It's
want to
so-
know how it works. I want to see how it's built. Pictures, I don't feel like do that one justice. I really
No.
And then
want
their
to just look at
trailer
it.
has its own engine hoist right there.
Yeah, you have to assemble the truck and drive the trailer out from underneath it, I believe.
Mhm.
Which, like, I'll never complain about tiring up ever again. But again, somebody had to innovate, and that one works, which is cool. It's super
Yeah.
awesome. I love it.
I mean, it's like who's
Probably shouldn't backflip it, but yeah.
That was
Another
a terrible idea.
That's very inventive. Like he had the Red Baron plane monster truck. Yeah, it was very small tires in the rear, big ones in the front, a whole wings.
Like a straight plane.
Yeah. He had a lot of inventive things, right? It was Mike Mayhem. Guys, I'm looking at you two. Back me up. All right.
You got me. You lost me.
Yeah, okay. We're definitely starting with you in the nursing home. You're going first.
That's understandable. I got called sir, not even Saturday. I got called sir, and I was like, kid.
The fact you turn around and said kid proves you earned it. Yeah, that's a hole you dug, buddy. Enjoy
The
it.
dementia's already kicking in.
Thanks, Cam. You're getting there too.
Oh, trust me, I know.
The way you
Cam
can't
couldn't even
say
read
things.
earlier. He was screwed from the jump.
Question from Evan Brook. Logan, how many chassis? I don't know how you want to say it.
Chassis.
Thank you,
Just say
chassis.
yeah.
Does DCT Power Sports have?
So we currently have 4 fully running trucks. We have DCT-1, which is Jerry Beck's original dirt crew. It translates as far back as I know to Screaming Demon. I think it was something before that, but that's the history that we all know about in the shop. It was Badlands Off-Road Park, turned into dirt crew. The second truck he ever had has moved on It went to Joey Sylvester, and then I think Kyle Nickenbacher has that now. I think that's the truck he has. And then we have 3, 4, and 5. So Maximus, Dirt Crew, Blockhead, and Dozer. For fully functioning running trucks, they'll all be out doing shows this weekend. And then there's talks of another one, maybe someday. We'll see. I don't know if we'll swap one out or change one or just have 5. Who knows? But it's never done. There's never a set number. There's never a we're gonna stop here. It's just whatever Jerry wants to build is what we're gonna build and what we're gonna do. So we shall see.
Is there
So-
ever talks? Oh, go ahead, Kim.
No, go ahead. You could. You
Is
had
there
more
ever
of a
talks of a
chance than I
ride
did.
truck?
I don't know. Ride trucks are weird because it takes up space in a trailer that a race truck could use.
Mhm.
And I don't know personally how people feel about liability of ride trucks. I mean, you can make a bunch of money with them, but if it goes wrong one time, it goes wrong. So I don't know. I've never asked Jerry about it. I don't know where his head's at with it. If anyone could build one, it would be Jerry. Some of the stuff he just creates is insane. It's so cool to be in the shop and just watch his brain work. And then all of a sudden he's like, look at this. Look at what we built. Yay. And it's super cool to walk around and you just see, like my first day, he was walking around and he's like, we built that. We built that. We built that. We built that. And I'm like, that's insane. What? So if he ever wanted a ride truck, it would be a wild, state of the art, awesome ride truck. But I don't know if he'd ever want to pull a race truck off. We'll see. Time will tell. If there is, I'm sure it would be a really awesome dump truck inspired ride truck for sure.
Instead
I
of
would
it cool,
love to see
just
it.
pushing everybody off.
Yeah, everybody just falls out like
Dump
that.
truck. Yeah.
Maybe one day.
So, I know Jerry's guys always do the toughest tour every year.
Mhm.
Has there been any talks about you driving for the tour next year?
I really don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see where everybody falls. I don't know that I have enough seat time to go do indoor arenas personally. That would 100% be between the guys running the toughest tour and Jerry. If Jerry thinks I'm ready, then I'll give it a shot. But I don't ever want to put myself or my team or our trucks in a situation where I'm not ready to do what's asked of the trucks. So if there's somebody better that could do it and put on a better show, that's what all the people in the stands deserve for sure. I know that there's a seat on that team. I know that there's plenty of shows that I'll be doing. So I'm not going to be heartbroken if I don't. If it means people would get a better show if somebody else was doing it. I know for a fact we will be on the toughest tour. What trucks, who's driving them, where we're going, I couldn't tell you, but we'll definitely be there. Maybe I'm in one. Maybe we're doing something different. Who knows? But you will definitely see DCT back out rocking on the toughest monster truck tour in 2027.
There you go.
So when you finally like get down and you're driving all the time every weekend and you know what you're doing, is there a venue or a city? I mean, obviously, I think Louisville would be up there, but that you would want to absolutely drive in.
For me, it's not necessarily the city as much as it would be who I could do shows with. So I definitely want to do a show with Jerry someday, regardless, because he doesn't do much in the summer. He kind of just steps out and lets his guys go run. He's a big fan of supporting us. He gets just as excited about us doing cool stuff as we do doing it. But I would really like to do at least a couple shows with him, go out and race with him and have fun. I would like to race Jamie and Zach at some point, just because, they were such a big part of my career. It would be super cool to go race with those guys and kind of have that full circle moment. And then a lot of my friends just scattered around on different teams. I'd like to, go race some of the guys at Throttle Monster because they were crew guys with me back in the day and now they're in trucks. Alex Barden for sure. But a set city, other than Miami, I don't really have anywhere in my head that I just have to drive. I would love to drive in Freedom Hall once, and I would love to drive at Miami once. Other than that, if I'm in a truck with a helmet on, I'm just stoked to be there, and I'm stoked to be doing it. So the more friends I could be out there with, the better.
That's where it is, man.
Well said, kid. Well said.
I thought that was great.
His old man's popping out. It's all good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll race
So-
TJ one of these days.
Huh?
Maybe I'll get to race TJ sometime.
Oh yeah, I would love to see that. So you can beat me
If
easily.
it goes anything like your race with Wayne, I don't even have to try.
Yeah, that's true. I guess. So obviously, that stuff like that doesn't really happen as often as a lot of people hope for. So, question for you is, as far as since you're working on the trucks, and hopefully we don't break anything while we're out there. So, how fun was that for you? Do you think it was as it's like the whole, let's say MJU, for example? I know back in the day, like 2015, when they used to have auctions at World Finals, so that was one of the ones where you go out there and drive. And my dad did that auction and won it. And I went out there and Tom Mentz yelling in your ear, telling you what to do, is it's an experience that most people don't get as far as fan wise. Be able to drive and do that. So how I remember is they were as excited as I was in the driver's seat. You watch it and hope I don't break anything. How was your experience watching?
So anytime that somebody that's new gets in a truck, like a couple weeks ago, William Beck, Jerry's son, got to go out and make his first full front to back debut show. And it's just super cool to sit in the truck, especially with it still being new to me. I remember my first show. I remember how it felt. I remember how excited, terrified, nervous, awesome it was to get to watch somebody else go through all those emotions, especially somebody that's earned it, somebody that's been around for a long time and put the work in to get there. It's super cool. Same thing with you and Wayne. Like watching you guys go out there and drive. I knew you guys were having fun, and I was having fun watching you guys have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you broke the truck or not, I don't care. Even when I watched, Teuton Darren at Fowlerville or the Gardner guys in a stadium, if I knew they were having fun and that truck was working good and they were having a good time, I was having fun because that's what we're here for.
Right.
The crowd's in it. They love it just because the truck's on the track. If the guy driving the truck is having fun, it's going to be such a better show, such a better run, and we're all going to get out and be in such a better mood than if that thing goes out and breaks on the third hit or it's beating the driver up or whatever the situation. So anytime somebody's having fun in the truck, everybody associated with it is instantly having more fun just because of the atmosphere shift that occurs. And then when you guys were driving, it was super cool to watch you guys just get better. Every time you got in the truck, you got a little better and a little better and a little better. And that was really cool to see too, of like, oh, wow, he's figuring that out. Oh, wow, he really figured that out. And it was cool to just sit there and watch it happen.
Okay. I don't know.
And then to watch you get beat was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, I had the idea because we were supposed to go around the car ramp, and I laid it on top of the car ramp.
It's okay.
I didn't want to full throttle it over the cars, but I should have.
all right.
I would have got yelled at.
You'll know for next time.
If there is a next time.
Yeah.
You just always assume there is.
So if you were able to drive any identity, what would it be?
Scooby-Doo.
Dude, I would wheel Scooby-Doo, man. I love Scooby-Doo. If I could bring one truck back, it would be Scooby-Doo, for sure. Would really like to drive Blacksmith, just because it was such a cool truck. Raminator, for sure, just because that was the first truck. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to just launch one of their trucks one time, just to feel what a giant Hemi like that feels like. Would be awesome. I'd really like to drive that T-Max truck too, just to see what it's like. Not for any special particular reason, other than I just want to go jump something and see what that's like. Stuff like that.
Try and backflip in it.
I'm good.
Jesus, Cam. What about a Slick and Ace?
I don't think I'd get within 15 feet of it, but I would love to watch it do something. That would be cool. But no, I don't think I would want to be associated with something like that. I doubt it's got wheel tethers or a kill radio or any of that important required stuff. So, but it'd be cool to sit in a lawn chair under a tree somewhere, far, far away from it, and watch it do something. Yeah, I think Blacksmith would probably be the one. If there was one truck out there that I hadn't got a chance to drive that I wanted to drive, it would be that.
Heck yeah.
What makes you say blacksmith? Is it the drivers behind it, or is it just
It's just cool.
Yeah.
The Captain's Curse was my dad's favorite truck when we were younger because we used to see it at a lot of shows, and I had no idea Blacksmith ever existed until I got older and was in the sport and kind of started looking back at where it came from and how we got to here. And then that was where, Blacksmith came from. And I was like, that is the coolest thing that's ever been. Like the Willys body, purple beadlocks. It's just a sick truck. It's awesome. Front to back, it's cool. And then to know the engineering that Pablo put in it all those years ago has still impacted trucks today is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be a really cool piece to get to go out and just slide around. Just say you did it. I don't know if I'd see anything out of it, but it'd be cool to just do.
Yeah, that was probably more of a look down at the tires and see what you're hitting.
I don't think you looked at anything.
I don't think so.
I think you just hit whatever was in front of you. I don't know. I think their heads bounced around too much back then for them to know what was happening.
he definitely hit that dumpster at the World Finals at one time? That's for sure.
Yeah.
Once he launched it off of that center jump, just crashed it.
Ooh.
Well, I think we're getting to the point of near the end of this wonderful episode. So, Cam, do you have anything else you want to add before we get to the final talks? Oh.
It's TJ's bedtime, man.
It is.
It's close.
9:30. Yeah, it's 9:30. Yeah. TJ has a bedtime. Is there an independent team that you would want to work for if you went to another one after this?
Like I said previously, me and Mike Christensen, I've always had a ton of respect for him. So I would love to spend some time with Team Throttle Monster someday. Moving to Utah doesn't really sound that intriguing. It's really cold, but just the guys that are there, I've got a lot of really good friends there. Ton of respect for Mike. That would be a cool place. And then I don't know if I'd ever want to work for Straight Up Racing, but I would like to spend like a month with Bill Payne and learn from him just because there's so much crazy, wild stuff that comes out of that dude's brain. I would like to just gain the knowledge from him. But again, never going to move to Washington. But he just the week and a half we spent up there, he just has so much knowledge in his head. If anyone ever had the opportunity to just sit down and talk to him, would definitely recommend it. That dude can build and see. He can look at something and build it in his head and then draw it on a napkin, and it exists in 24 hours. And that's a talent that I wish I possessed so bad.
Oh, yeah, look at
those two for sure.
Yeah. Chuck is right. The bird cage, or the door to the bird cage, is going to be closing soon and be unlocked.
But I don't think there's an independent team in the sport that I wouldn't consider working for. A lot of it's just location, really, and the guys they have and what they do. That's like Jerry Beck was one of the people that when I came into the sport, everybody was like, he's one of the smartest guys. He can build stuff. He creates stuff. He just pulls stuff out of the air and it just exists. And I was like, that's something I want to learn. That's a talent that's someone that I need to sit down and spend time with to better myself and to learn everything I want to know, whether it's about monster trucks or bulldozers or digging a hole. Jerry will tell you, and he's good at it. So that's the kind of people that I put on the list that I would want to, whether it's not necessarily work for him, because I don't think I'd want to work for anybody other than Jerry. He's such an awesome dude, has such a great setup here, but gaining the knowledge from those guys would be super cool.
Yeah, I mean, you got to work with. Was you in Dayton when Jerry filled in for Cole?
I was. That was actually the introduction me and Jerry had, was me being his crew guy. fitting him in a truck in the snow on Thanksgiving in Dayton, Ohio, is how me and Jerry Beck became friends. So,
Because
I was his first and only Monster Jam crew chief. So that was where we exchanged numbers and became friends on Facebook. And over a year later, here we are.
Yeah. I mean, I went to one. I think it was either the first or second show that year, because I had a lot of work at the arena I was doing at the time, and I only went up because I wanted to see Jerry and Monster Jam.
Mhm.
That was the only reason I went up to that show. So
It didn't go near as good for him as we wish it would have, but he
No.
he had fun. He got to do it, and I'm hoping that's not the end for him. I hope he gets another chance at it someday and gets to go out there and really lay one down. Because if there's anybody that could kill it in an arena, it'd be a guy that drove a decade worth of toughest monster trucks. He could
Mhm.
eat up a Monster Jam arena pod.
Oh yeah, good.
I'd love
mean,
to see him turn loose on one.
Yeah, I would love to see DCT and Monster Jam one day, but who knows?
I'm not going to tell you it would never happen, but we have a lot of fun doing what we're doing, and we have a ton of really great relationships built with the people we run for. So it's more of just maybe. It's not something that we have to do. It's not something that anybody at DCT really is going to be upset if it didn't happen. Everybody at DCT has been in Monster Jam in one way or another. Darren Basil, Too Tall, even Jerry. So nobody's super against it, but nobody's really pushing for it either. We're happy to not have EFI right now and just go do shows and hit cars, drive through campers, jump school buses, do monster truck stuff. We love it.
Yeah.
Do you so is your end goal to eventually drive for, like, not necessarily a Monster Jam truck, but to just drive any truck in Monster Jam again, or are you just set and staying in the
For me, I just want to drive good trucks at a competitive level and make whoever I'm driving's truck happy that I'm driving it. That's my end goal. So I want to go out and I want to put on a good show and be competitive. I want somebody to line up next to me someday and be like, oh, this kid's got a shot at beating me. And know that my truck's good. Know that the parts underneath me are good. Know that the truck's going to work. And know that there's somebody back home that's rooting for me to win just as bad as they want to win when they're lined up against me. Whether that's in Monster Jam or not. It would be cool for sure, but my heart's not set on, I got to drive in Monster Jam. I just want to go have fun wherever I drive, whether it's a county fair or it's Fowlerville. I don't care. If I'm in the truck and I'm having fun, that's what matters.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, before we end it, I was told you have a favorite song that someone wanted me to make sure we play before we ended.
Let's hope we don't get
So-
copyrighted.
Yeah.
We're gonna get copyrighted if we play that,
Exactly.
buddy.
So the idea is we'll play it for a couple of seconds, but then that's how we're going to end it. So
Favorite song?
yes,
Tell me
I
we're
can.
not
I'm scared because I don't even know which one of my friends would have given you a favorite song. Like, I
Oh,
don't
they
know
were
how
in chat,
bad this
apparently.
could be.
It's in the comment section.
Oh,
It
It's
was
sure
all
they
definitely in the
are.
comments.
I don't know what button that is, so we're going to wing it.
Alrighty, so let's see.
Let's see.
This is gonna be fun. All right, so I'm gonna hit the button. He's gonna see it before I can even hit play. Oh wow, it's blocking it. Did it hit play? I hit play. Did I not?
Is your
Yeah.
volume?
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, this is. Oh, I can turn.
This
I
is
can hit this
embarrassing.
button. This is gonna be. Oh, bad button. Bad button. All right, hold on.
What are you doing?
We're going to let you struggle before I look at the screen again.
All right, hold on. Let me just move that. I can play it on my mic, but it's not gonna be as good.
Oh my god.
This
I'm
button.
sure it's some monster truck intro
Oh, boy.
song from something.
Yeah.
It's the Sparkle Smash intro.
Oh, okay.
That one wouldn't even bother me. I never had to deal with a unicorn.
So
I always just watch somebody else's crash.
you've heard that we are trying to get you fully to drive Sparkle Smash in 2027 at least
We
one.
were talking about it last weekend, yeah.
I heard that
Right.
you might be driving Sparkle Smash in 2028.
Me? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. They
Is he
would
just good?
something would go very wrong in the
Where'd he
world
go?
if someone in corporate Monster Jam decided that I needed to drive Sparkle Smash.
You were just replacing Logan.
Yeah.
My bad. I hit the wrong button.
It's not even spelled the same. They would still have to change everything. Yeah, I don't know. That's not a phone call I'd ever expect to get.
Yo, man, we see how well you're doing at Dirt Crew. We want you to double load with Sparkle Smash.
The first time I shot confetti in somebody's truck, they'd pull the plug on that. I
Now,
don't have the self-control that all the talented drivers in it do.
what color
make it look
confetti?
cool.
What color confetti would you use?
Neon pink, dude. If we're doing it, we're doing it.
Oh, I'm gonna
We're
write that
committing.
down. All right, I'm gonna hit the button on my wonderful computer. It's gonna play somehow. Let me make sure it's not back. Okay, we got no back feed. It is not loud at all. Awesome.
This was a
Yeah.
terrible idea, TJ. I told you not to do
Should have
it.
just put your phone to it at this point.
I feel like
Oh,
you should have just
goodness.
told me what song it was, and you would have got the same reaction. Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh, there's not a dude that's ever worked on that truck that doesn't get like flashbacks when that plays. It's so terrible.
Well-
so terrible.
Oh, you know what? Real fast before we end it, I just had a question come up. All right, stop it before we get copyrighted. Then
Okay,
nobody
okay.
can see this fucking thing anymore.
Just the edit. I can cut that out.
So, have you crewed for somebody and they've just tore the truck half apart, but they're doing such a hell of a good freestyle, and you're just sitting in the back, just like, you know what, just keep going, just let it go, and you're just entertained by it, or
Yeah, I think we were all entertained by it. It was Zach at World Finals in Salt Lake the first year. I'm watching.
yeah.
I'm watching the truck come apart actively, and I'm just screaming in the mic that he just needs to go faster because I'm waiting for them to shut him off. And I'm like, just keep going. Don't stop. Don't lift. Don't slow down. Keep going, because there's no way they're letting us do this right now. So there was that one, and then Colvinard in Atlanta when he
Oh yeah.
broke the truck in half, made the entire back of the truck Bluetooth. We were all cheering him on to keep going, and he's like, it just shut off. I don't know why. I'm like, well, I think I know why, but it's okay. Try again. So stuff like, yeah, if it's a cool, I'm always excited when the crash happens. Like, I'm always hyped when it happens. I'm like, hell yeah. And then it, like, this wave takes over you, and you're like, why is the tire over there? Or why is it on fire? What's on fire? How is it on fire? What, huh? And you're looking and you're like, what fluid is coming out? And there's all these questions that start plaguing. And then you're like, oh no. And you just start adding up the hours and you're like, I'm not going to bed till 2, 3, 4 tomorrow. Got it. But yeah, you're always hyped when it first happens. There's never been one where it's broke and I'm like, immediately. It's always 30, 45 seconds. Then
It's going to be, I'm going to have to fix that. But that was awesome.
usually, yeah, it's a high five and it's like, heck yeah, dude. Now what the were you thinking? Like, why? But yeah, you're always hyped at the beginning.
yeah. So
Unless it's really dumb. You just like grip roll trying to do a donut, like now I'm gonna bully you. But I've never had a driver pull one of those. They've always been earned rollovers for sure.
when Zach first rolled it during that freestyle, and the truck just shuts off for a minute, are you guys scared that they won't let him come back on, or?
So they shut him off because they thought the cage hit the ground, which is a rule in Monster Jam. If the cage hits the ground, you have to RII it, whether it was hard hit or not. You have to, just to make contact with the driver. So the first thing I told him is I was like, stay tight. Like, don't loosen your belts. Don't get out. Because the second you loosen your belts, you're done.
Right.
That's it. Like, you can't continue once you're loose. It's a whole process to get that tight and be ready. So he's sitting in the truck and he's quiet and they run out real quick. And he gives him a thumbs up, and all the tech officials, the guys running the show, are all huddled around me. Because there's one spot at World Finals where everybody stands. That's where the crew chief stands. So you're on camera, so you have the best radio signal, so all the tech officials are there, like one spot. So I've got 7 guys all giving me the hold sign, like at one time. and I'm just waiting. And one guy told him to go, and I was like, right rear tire is optional. You better rip for as long as they let you rip. Fire and go. And he fired it, threw it. I don't even know if the starter was disengaged by the time he launched the thing. But he took off and just destroyed it. Just ripped it, had a blast, ripped a rim in half. I think he's the first and only guy to do that. And just killed it. And I was stoked. I was like, whatever, man, just go. I hope they don't shut you off. And like through the run, I just kept trying to hold my mic open or at least yell something to him. That way he knew he could keep going because
Right.
it was to the point it was shaking the truck so bad. He told me after he was struggling to even see what was in front of him. So I didn't want him to lift. I didn't want him to give up or let out at the wrong time or whatever. So
Right.
I'm just like, go, 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 go. And then I'd let him hit the ground and I'm like, go. Then he lined up for a backflip and I was like, all right, well, this guy dies. This is it. And then that worked. And I'm like, okay, well, the world is yours, my friend. And then he did whatever else he did. I don't even remember. There was so much.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's definitely incredible that he made it pretty much. I'm pretty sure he like filled the whole entire time, if I'm not mistaken, or 5
Yeah.
seconds left or
They-
whatever.
I think when he got into that corner with like 3 seconds left, they shut him off because that was when the rim separated. It
Yeah.
separated and then it rolled into the corner, and that was. I think they even let the clock run out. Like I think they technically counted it as a full run, which was cool. But
yeah.
I was just stoked that we got that truck out back and nothing was really broke. We put a tire and a rim on it and ran it. All we did was tighten everything back up. It didn't break anything. Nothing rattled off. I was just as stoked that it held together as he was that he drove through it.
Nice.
I think for both of us, it was a testament to like how much effort we put into being good at what we were doing. Because there's no way the truck shouldn't have came apart, and there's no way he should have been able to drive it. And the two of us somehow did both separately.
Right.
I remember telling the boys in Savannah afterwards, I'm like, dude, that was 2005 Tom Mintz in that truck. That was insane work.
There's a lot of people that have tried to argue that Zach Mintz isn't the proper title for him, and I'm like, you should go watch that run and try to argue it. I don't ever want to stroke that kid's ego. It's the last thing he needs, but it's a nickname that he earned that day. If he can keep that up for the rest of his career, he's got it.
I mean, God, and like you said, you guys put a rim and a tire back on it, and he almost won racing with it.
Yeah.
It was insane. That kid had such a great weekend that weekend.
When people ask me what the like coolest thing I've done in my career is, I tell them that weekend because everything Team Overboard showed up to do that weekend, we podiumed. I don't know. I'm sure it's been done before, but for me, it was like at the time it was just me and Jeff as full-time crew guys. So to show up with 3 trucks, win last chance, then go in the big show, get third podium and high jump, and then silver both racing and freestyle with 3 different trucks and 3 different drivers. Like, I was so stoked leaving there. I was like, we did it. Like, who cares if we won? We did it. Like, everything they put us in. Cole proved him that he shouldn't be in last chance. Jamie drove out for high jump in a truck we hadn't touched all weekend. We didn't even know if the thing was going to start. It had sat in pit party for 3 days, and he just climbs up in it and goes out and gets third. And then Zach getting second and second was so mental.
I mean, I don't think I've seen someone get that close to winning freestyle and racing since Tom did it in the same weekend, at least.
I'm sure he'll do it again. That kid he's not going to stay a 2-time champ for long. He'll get more.
Well said. On that note, I think it's finally time to call it.
Good night, TJ.
Wait,
man,
another question.
I was trying to push it to the 2-hour mark, and then
I
we
know
could
you
move it
were.
to 2-hour
If
mark.
I could pull up the chat, I'd start making people ask questions right now and just see how long until TJ starts.
If anybody's got some questions, shoot them now
TJ
so we can shoot
I'm gonna
TJ.
pull the blanket off mine. Just pass out right there.
Exactly. No.
Maybe by then Wayne would join us.
Yeah.
Wait.
Wayne did not even.
He'll be here in a month.
Yeah.
So. All right, TJ.
It's been fun, boys.
Definitely.
Logan, we appreciate you for coming on, bud.
Of course, man. We'll do it again in a year or so. We'll catch back up.
Absolutely. Maybe
Yeah, I
we'll
like
have some
that.
other crew members on here as well in the future.
Well, for sure.
Yeah, hopefully you're a lot bigger driver and we're a bigger podcast and
I think both of those
See,
are
man.
climbing pretty well.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
we'll give her a shot. We'll see what we can do.
Appreciate you stopping by, boys. You know how we end this. Thank you for stopping by. Like, follow, subscribe, all that. Jumbo,
Hit that
smumbo,
notification bell for next time.
Oh,
ding ding.
For watching.
we'll see you
Appreciate
guys.
it. And this is a Do It, boys.
Boys, signing out.
See ya.
Peace.